Hey everyone, welcome to today's session on abduction and adduction in physical therapy. We can also describe these movements as moving in the frontal plane. The frontal plane is if there's an axle going through my body from front to back, promoting a side bending motion. Sagittal plane, which is most common, is if the axle is going through my body from side to side, promoting flexion and extension. And the transverse plane is if there's an axle going down through my body, promoting rotation. These two movements of abduction and adduction are essential for strength, mobility, and injury, as well as recovery. But what exactly are they? Adduction is moving a limb toward the body's midline. Abduction is moving a limb away from the body's midline. These motions are used in everything from walking and running to reaching and lifting. Today we'll break down how these movements work and how they can help you stay strong and pain-free. In simple terms, when you bring your arms or legs toward your body, that's adduction. When you move them away from your body, that's abduction. Now let's take a closer look at how these movements apply to the lower and to the upper body. In the next video, we'll explore specific exercises for both the lower and the upper body. Stay tuned. Adduction and abduction exercises for the lower body. These movements strengthen the inner and outer thighs, hips, and knees, which are key areas for balance and mobility. Why does it matter? It helps prevent injuries, especially hip and knee injuries, improve stability and balance, and strengthen surrounding muscles. Now let's start with side-lying leg lifts. Great for strengthening the hip abductors, especially the gluteus medius. Now the exercises that I chose for the lower leg for abduction is a 3-part glute med, and for adduction is the adductor longus. These muscles are extremely important for hip health. It's called Powell's balance. When you stand on one leg, let's say for example, when you stand on your right leg, it's the contraction of the gluteus medius and your adductors that keeps your pelvis level. If you have a weakness in your gluteus medius, you always get what's called a Trendelenburg effect, where your hip actually drops, and over time, this can prematurely wear out your hip, cause arthritis, and it actually can cause tears of the capsule or the labrum. So I love the 3-part gluteus medius to strengthen the gluteus medius, and that is our abduction move. Really simple exercise to do. Lie on your side. You're going to lie with your thighs at 90, knees at 90. Now we have 3 positions that we're going to train in. The gluteus medius is like a big fan. So the first part is with our thigh at 90, our leg is straight, and that's my first position. My second position is with my leg anywhere from neutral, 0 to maybe 5 or 10 degrees of flexion. And then my third position is with my heel slightly behind my butt, as long as I do not go into a lordosis, or as long as I do not hyperextend my low back. Now, your goal, and this is going to be really difficult, your goal is to work up to 30, 30, 30. That would be your minimum. Sometimes for my clients, I actually say 50, 50, 50. That's 150 leg raises or abductions. Once you can do 3 sets, then I'm going to tell you, yeah, maybe let's put a little ankle weight on the end of your foot, and then we'll decrease the amount of reps because we've increased the weight. So here we go. We're going to start with our 3-part glute max. We're going to start with our thigh at 90. My abs are tight, and the reason why the abs are tight is because we need to create a fixed point for our pelvis. My knee is facing down to the ground, so I have a component of internal rotation, and now I'm simply going to raise my heel to the ceiling, up, down, up, down, up, down, and I'm already feeling that in my gluteus medius. Again, your goal is 30 to 50 repetitions, 3 sets. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my leg in here. Again, we're from neutral to 5 or 10 degrees of flexion. Same thing, abs tight. I'm going to raise my heel to the ceiling, and I feel that in a completely different part of my gluteus medius. And then my third position is I bring my heel slightly behind my butt, as long as I don't hyperextend my lumbar spine, and I raise my heel to the ceiling, and yes, I feel that in a completely different position. So you can imagine how doing 50, 50, 50 is going to burn. Make sure you do both sides. Now, to offset the gluteus medius, you can only have a strong muscle if you have a strong antagonistic muscle. So I'm going to show the adduction, adduction exercise for this segment with the left leg doing the adductor longus. So now what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my bottom leg as my working leg. My top leg is my fixed leg. I want to push my heel down into the floor. I got my leg stabilized. And I'm going to use my hand here to stabilize a little bit as well. My abs are tight again because I need to create a fixed point in my pelvis. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to adduct my heel to the ceiling. So I'm going to lift my heel to the ceiling. I'm going to lift my heel to the ceiling. That is my major component of the adductor longus. However, the adductor longus also does a slight component of external rotation. And for me, it's all about the quality of the exercise. So I tell my clients, heel touches the floor, heel touches the ceiling. 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 So you can see, as I'm raising my leg, I'm getting my adduction, but I'm also adding a component of external rotation. And this is how we strengthen the adductor longus, and now we have our abduction and our adduction movement for the lower body. Now that we've covered the lower body, let's focus on the upper body. Adduction and abduction are crucial for shoulder, chest, and arm strength. Key areas for everyday movements like lifting, pushing, and pulling. Let's start with the lateral shoulder raise to strengthen the deltoids. Now for the upper body, I have chosen for the abduction exercise, we're going to do the lateral raise. I feel that exercise is so poorly done in the gym because the middle deltoid is so important for the shoulder because it is the main muscle that holds our arm on our body. And if you don't have a good middle deltoid, your rotator cuff has to overwork just to hold your arm on your body. Plus, if you've watched my other videos, it's really important that that ball is pulled back in line with the socket. So in order not to create an impingement syndrome in the shoulder. So for the abduction movement, we're going to do the lateral raise. I want the crook of the elbow to be facing slightly forward and down. And we're going to do a lateral raise. You're going to push the crown of the head to the ceiling. The chin is in, the eyes are down. And you're going to be raising your arms up and down like this for my lateral raise. And again, it's really important if you're looking at the crook of my elbow that is facing somewhat forward and somewhat down. And I never let them raise up to the ceiling like this, because when I do that, yes, I'm doing an abduction exercise, but I'm actually working the anterior deltoid and not the posterior deltoid. So this is how we do the abduction exercise for the middle deltoid, which is a lateral raise. Now we'll focus on adduction with the chest fly using dumbbells. And now my adduction exercise for the upper body is a pec fly. In order to work the pec efficiently, I want to be above the glenohumeral angle, which is above 90 degrees. And you'll see I'm going to be coming back in sort of a Y type of movement. And then I'm going to bring my arms together, which is going to be adduction, but it's going to be a horizontal adduction. So lying on your back, eyes are down, chin is in. I'm going to inhale, opening my arms into a Y. And I'm going to go into internal rotation, closing it back down, breathing out. So breathe in and breathe out. And this is my adduction exercise for the upper body. Strengthening these muscles improves posture, shoulder health, and overall movement quality. Keep practicing and stay consistent.